Alright, so I think I can say without a doubt that Drake is one of, if not the most commercially successful hip-hop artist of today's generation. And you could say it's for a slew of reasons, such as his very easy ability to appeal to wider audiences with tracks such as Hotline Bling, One Dance, and Non-Stop, allowing 30-year-old men and teenage girls to join forces for the ultimate dick riding competition. But throughout these past few years, Drake has dropped some of the most bland, bottom-of-the-barrel, and straight doo-doo-ass collection of tracks I've heard since this nigga was in a wheelchair, and then add in the multiple pointless beefs he's inserted himself into, and now you have the most divisive hip-hop artist of today's generation. So I think it's time I step in and try to break down why Drake, of all people, has become such a disliked and overly liked figure in music. Alright, so if you've been living under a rock, last Friday Drake and 21 Savage tapped in to drop their first collab tape titled Her Loss, and of course in Wallow's fashion, I made a review on it, which you should check out by the way, link in bio. And if I'm gonna be 100% honest, I thought that shit was overhyped mid. Whoa, hey, hear me out for a second. See, now I know while there are a lot of people that have been going balls deep for this album, talking about how Drake is back and this is the Drake that we've wanted, I've just been here really contemplating if I should review another Drake album ever again. And the reason why is because when listening to this project, it just feels like another slew of Instagram caption bars and TikTok dance flows that I couldn't be bothered to listen to. And while I know Drake and 21 Savage have been longtime friends and collaborators, going 4 for 4 with each single they've had in the past, I feel like I can confidently say that they are better off just working with singles and not going for anything more simply because of the ceiling that Drake has hit that's prevented him from actually making high quality music as a rapper. Now I bring this up because I feel like throughout his last couple of projects you could legit hear the downgrade in musical quality since the release of More Life, and while Drake has been getting more and more popular throughout the years, now becoming a household name within the music scene, it's also like he's kind of hit a ceiling in terms of musical quality. And with the ceiling being hit, you now have people coming out of their dens like Gollum from Lord of the Rings to finally tell people how trash they think Drake is. Now do I think Drake is trash? Debatable. But what I can say is that due to the tribalism that has peaked throughout these past couple of years due to his mediocrity, it has allowed people to be more vocal about how much they don't like Drake, and in that same instance it's created this sort of hive mind for people to jump on about him, even if they do or don't listen to Drake. Now am I saying this is deserving? Debatable. But what I can say is that if you want to torture a Kanye fan into telling their deepest, darkest secrets, all you have to do is play Way Too Sexy on repeat. But just because Drake's music has become a shell of its former self throughout these past couple of years doesn't mean that that's the only reason why people don't like the dude. Because aside from being an off-brand American, he's also been at the center of controversy for a while, with people mainly calling him a pedo, cornball, or Pusha T's son. And you know what? That's kind of fair, because when you're DMing Millie Bobby Brown while she's still a minor, I'ma label you a pedo myself. And then you add in the constant unnecessary beefs he's placed himself in, with him now recently shooting shots at Meg Thee Stallion on the track Circle Loco from his latest project, now creating another reason for Twitter users to compete for who can dick ride the hardest. But thanks for Drake's diehard fan base, he's been able to dodge countless L's since before he turned into a Dominican uncle. And I think with the constant defending he's been getting for years now from dudes who were scared to form their own opinion, it's given people another reason to dislike Drake as a whole, because as it goes with every fan base, the worst part of it all are the fans themselves. So in conclusion, niggas who defend Drake are straight dick eaters, but at the same time, motherfuckers who hate him all day are cock munchers too. But I guess they're just a little bit more reasonable, I suppose. I mean, speaking from my own musical standpoint, Drake just doesn't have it anymore. There's nothing for me to be excited about when he drops or does anything, because I already know it's going to be the most sugar-coated, corniest attempts at trying to be hard, just to give Aaron here another collection of Instagram captions to use at his disposal. But at the same time, when people hop online to shit on him all day, it just gives Aubrey more fuel to drop another 17-track album of doo-doo ass just for his stance to write 10-page essays on how much they want to slap his light-skinned nuts on their face. But I guess with all this ranting, I just want to say y'all niggas is weird. The hate boner for this dude will never stop, and for the love of God almighty, can we please stop comparing Drake and Kendrick Lamar? Like, between this stupid debate and the constant resurfacing of a J. Cole and Kendrick album, I don't know which one will die out first, but I hope they both go eventually. But hey, y'all thought this was the end of the video? Of course not, because I didn't even do my outro yet. But for the second half, I want to take this time to shout out my guy Nick Tricana and his latest project Love Notes, being an emotional roller coaster of some very interesting storytelling, solid beats, and Morgan Freeman-esque narration. With this being a follow-up to his previous project Escapes from Sunset Drive, it's good to see the upcoming artist be able to stay this consistent and hardworking. With tracks such as Living Positive and Soul giving off this more chill and catchy vibe that I really mess with, it's like the first half of this album is like a form of confession being written down, with Nick seeming to really put his heart into his lyricism. And then we got Rachel Phillip coming in on the track Confessions of Love to help complement this light and funky beat with some beautiful vocals that I did enjoy. But then once we hit the intermission with the track Honey I'm Home, it's like we get a complete turn of emotions once Nick understands the truth of what's been going on in his love's life, that she's moved on, that she don't want him no more. She said that nigga a munch. But now he's screaming and angry, really allowing his hatred to flow out more. That really gives this track a lot more feeling to it, and I feel perfectly helps with the theme of this project. And with the production, it's just as polarizing as Nick is throughout this album, with the first half half being these fun, easygoing pop beats, to now going into these darker and harder hitting trap sounds to match Nick's emotions perfectly. Tracks such as Paper Cuts and See You Next Time are probably my favorites from this project, especially with the later going for this more eerie energy and sound while Nick is still indulging in alcohol to prevent himself from facing the realities of the situation that he was in. And then at the end he bumps into these girls at the club who read his love notes that he left behind, basically seeming like he's abandoned his old feelings, kind of becoming this blank canvas of a person with only his feelings being sadness and frustration. I just hope he doesn't turn to Andrew Tate podcast now that he became a certified cuck. But on that note, I just want to say check out Nick's latest album Love Notes down below on all streaming platforms, and if you liked the video, feel free to subscribe as well. Follow my IG and Twitter, and follow Chocolate on Instagram for more illustrations. And on that note, I'll see you on Friday when I give you 10 reasons why you should start running. Peace.
What are you doing?
Collecting my bounty!
Bounty?
What are you talking about, cracker? Fuck you,